here?
Yes.
Amen. You guys are welcome. As you all know, it's the first Sunday of April, a new season. Even though the time is going by, we are going forward.
Yes.
That's the reason why we are here.
Yes, Lord.
On a very special day, the 5th of April, 2020. Now, I don't waste your time here. Please join me. Welcome the pastor. Amen.
Praise the Lord. Praise the name of Jesus.
Amen.
As the time in Australia went back, your life will not go back in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Everything about you is moving forward.
Amen.
Don't forget the Bible says, no longer shall the moon and the sun be the source of your light, but Jehovah himself. Because Jehovah is the source of your light. Anything that happens in the world that is negative will not come near you.
Amen.
Only the positive things, only the good things in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Church, are you blessed?
Yes.
Are you encouraged?
Yes.
I want to say a few things about the season we are into before I introduce my topic. One of the reasons why evil has released, or the people that want to, control the world has released coronavirus. It's not because of the attack, but what they are targeting is control. Their key target is control. It has never been hard. When it was SARS, it was Asia. When it was Ebola, it was Africa. These were all their trials, trying to, see how it will react. Now they felt that it's time for them to control the world, and they can't control the world through politics, through gun, through power. They now want to control the world through what? Listen to me. Fear. Fear. In the final analysis, if they have succeeded, everybody's already dead. Because fear is the platform for a good death. You die, you're already dead when you are afraid. Faith is the platform of life, for life. So what are they doing now? Listen, this is now, because Archbishop also says, you understand the Bible more when you understand what is happening, when you learn, you understand the facets in the Bible, when you also, so education is not for you to, education is for you to understand the Bible more. I like knowledge. So now, this coronavirus has been tested in so many continents. Are you aware of that? And each continent has her own pattern. I'm just trying to tell you where this is going, the future of this, where this thing is going. China, listen. China has tried their model, and the world has recorded Chinese model. America have tried their model, and the world has recorded American model. Europe has tried their model, which is Italy and Spain, especially, and Germany, and they've recorded their model. Are you hearing what I'm saying now? This is where the coronavirus is going. Remember, the platform is fear. The target is control. So, if you check the record very well, Chinese is as if they have contended. They have not anyway, but they want to keep it that way because the world is now trying to use Chinese model. Are you getting it now? No, you don't get it. American model still permits a huge part of human rights. American model still permits a huge part of human right. European model still permit a huge part of human right too. That's why they are saying America is increasing, Europe is dying, so that they'll come to a conclusion and say the model that we are going to use to tackle this coronavirus will be Chinese model. Chinese model where human right is abused. Now, listen very, very well. This coronavirus, the target is so that they will use it and destroy every right of any place in the world where human being lives and try to control that and say this is the only way we can eradicate coronavirus. So you must not do anything against the will of the government. You must not do anything against the will of the government. And if you do it, they will, in America, in Europe, and if you try to mess up, they will say, remember, the only pattern to eradicate coronavirus is Chinese model. So what is this saying? This is just the first stage. The first stage, you will take away your right. You think you have right? I pity my people. I keep on telling Africans, it's time to rule this world. But they don't know. I say Europe has ruled the world. America has ruled the world. Asia has ruled the world. It's now African time to rule the world. And why is it that God is dispatching you all over the world, Africans? Because you are the people, culture that honors the faith that will save the Lord, they save the world. You are among the continents. So I pity them when they come here and start messing up. So the first level, what they want to achieve is to tell you that no human right again. No, you don't have any right. This because you want to eradicate coronavirus. This, that. So that is the one they are doing now. And what do they want to achieve with that one? They will get everybody to get involved in the one world system. You will be monitored. Remember now they have already succeeded in social distancing. They don't want, you can't go to doctor again. Do you know why they are doing all those things? You don't understand. They are doing it so that the chip they will put in you will be monitoring you when you are sick, when you are this, they will be controlling you everywhere. Jimmy, what happened when I gave you $5 to go and buy peanuts for my wife? You came back with the $5. Why?
They couldn't accept card.
They say no more, we don't want cash again. So it's cash, I gave you cash. They say we don't want cash again. So that they monitor everything you are doing because there's going to be chip inside of you. Everything you're doing. When they give you the vaccine comes with chip. It's on news. They are interviewing the Gates now is the greatest person on earth now. And he's the one. And he started almost 10 years ago, started talking about it. Imagine needle, chip that will penetrate the mouth of needle. When they give you needle, boom, the chip is already inside of you. It monitors you. Now, one of the things that they also want to use is the 5G network. But every world is reacting against it because that one is very obvious. The destruction of that one is very obvious. Canada has evolved. This is on the news. Browse it. All the nations have rejected it. 5G, because the way 5G will be put, they will put it on every pole. And they will put it on every pole, and it will be just like pole. You know the pole. But the radiation, what that thing creates, that destroys the liver, the mind, everything, is more. But this is all in their plan to make sure that the chip that will be delivered into you will work out accurately, so that as within the pole, they will be getting signal about you, everything and whatever you're doing. Now, if it's just they want to have the data, information of everybody on earth is okay, but that's not the reason. The reason is so that whatever they want the world to hear, that's what they want to do. Whatever they want you to do, just like me, I'm already a dead man. I'm already a dead man. I'm waiting for the day to go to heaven. I'm waiting for the. So don't worry about that. I'll give you some information. Then I'll introduce my topic. Then what they are doing is that stubborn pastors like Pastor Joseph, because the whole world is now on the net, everything, and they can only hear me through the net. If I come up, they will block me. That is it. That's just what they want. So that they put the word the way they want it. So you will be restricted from. Now, another thing they're going to do about health is they will make sure that you have the machine to check your blood pressure. You have everything in your house. Now, this thing we are talking about, forget about the money. The money is already there, everything. Did you not hear it for the first time? America said, everything about anybody in this nation. If you are sick, 100% government pays for it. Did you have no idea? It was the vice president that said it. Everything about health, 100%, whether you're a citizen, you're not a citizen. So it's not about money. They are crushing the world economy. So, what do they want to achieve? They want to stop the message of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. They want to rebuild the word of their own, not the word, not to allow the word that God created. Imagine they want to, I have a car, and somebody want to take my car. They want to take this word. But we have good news. Listen to me very, very carefully. And that is why I have to share this so that you understand the message today. We have good news. Very powerful good news. The Bible, in Revelation chapter 12, if you have never read it, go and read it. From chapter 1, from verse 1 to the end. Go and read it. If you read chapter 13, then you will start seeing about Antichrist, 666. But don't worry about those ones. Because the 666 is money. Forget about it. The good news is that there has never been. Okay, let me put it this way so you understand the first one. The good news is that, one, this is not yet time for the time of great tribulation. But Biged could not hold it. He felt he has gotten the word. He want to come out with his team early when God has not sanctioned it. Are you getting it? The time of great tribulation will only start after rapture. It can never. So whatever they are doing now, they will fail. Does that make sense? Failing doesn't mean they will not be progressing, but they will not get any child of God, any true child of God. Because after tribulation, the Bible says the great tribulation, when you come, no child of God will escape it. It will definitely, they will frustrate you. If it is time of tribulation now, but because rapture has not taken place, I still have hope I can protect my family. But if it is that time, I can't protect my family. I can't protect my wife. I can't protect anyone. So it's not yet time. But because it's not yet time, I can protect my family. I can protect anyone around me. I can protect anyone if you see me as a judge. Does that make sense? I can't protect any other person when after rapture. So the good news number one is we still have opportunity to hold on to God, because the Bible says nobody knows when it will happen. So you can still live your comfortable life without stress until rapture. But if you miss rapture, God forbid. If you miss rapture, I pity you. So that time has not come. So it means the devil, whatever the devil is doing, you will fall. And why is it that if you miss rapture, it will be hard? Because Holy Ghost will leave the earth. I'm telling you. Because there's no way we'll be doing marriage banquet and Holy Ghost will not be there of Jesus and his bride, the church. When the Holy Ghost is. So that's just the only difference. So why Holy Ghost is going for the marriage banquet of the bride and the bridegroom? He carries everyone. That's what the Bible meant by rapture. I mean, Bible did not say rapture, but we know it's going to happen. We just say it's time, let's go. Praise the Lord. Mm-hmm. And do you know at that time, oh my Bashikabori, it will just be like earth. It will just be like earth, as if we are on earth. After rapture. For 1,000 years, a day before God, is 1,000 years before man. It's just a day before God. Before now, the whole thing, God will now say, devil, have you finished? Have you shown all your mighty power now? Now I'll show you. That's the Bible called it the second death. And devil will be tied. Devil has no power has been removed from the devil until the second death. And the Bible says he will now throw him into the lake of fire where he has been prepared for him. So people in the lake of fire, God didn't prepare it for them, he prepared it for the devil. So what is going to happen? The first one is one. Please, the good news is that nothing will happen to you if you will follow the principle of God. Number two, nothing will happen until after rapture. No mark of the beast. No, it will still be in the process of is your choice, is your choice, is your choice. Then it's only after rapture that it will be by force. Does that make sense? Mm. So I might decide today, they might say iced coffee. If you like iced coffee so much, anybody that will buy iced coffee must have the chip. You don't understand how powerful this is. You have the same ID card with somebody, you have the same chip to pass through a particular gate with the same person in your office, but you want to pass, it will say no to you. That's the kind of control. The same chip, the same card. You might even take somebody's, but because your own is different, I'm telling you, you will pay. So many people will be passing through a gate. So many will be rejected. Because they have something in your system. But as at now, until after rapture, it is your choice. But after rapture, by force. So what I'm going to teach this morning is going to open your eyes on how not to miss out. Praise the Lord. Amen. The topic is characters of the next judge against coronavirus. Characters of the next judge against coronavirus. It's no more Jesus. It's not Jesus. We're not talking about Jesus. Jesus has finished his work, and he said, as the Father has sent me, so have I sent you. I put on Facebook this morning, I said, pastors that have been teaching their members die-hard message of Christ, they will just be relaxing now. They will just be enjoying. I'm telling you the truth. If I have been teaching you the truth, the die-hard message of Christ, now it's time for me to just relax and be praying for you. Because you already know the truth. You are no more among the people that the world will say the world is going to end tomorrow. Your world ended this day you got born again. Your world can never end again. As I am now, God knows I'm not lying. Everybody is panicking. God knows I'm not lying. I'm not panicking. I'm waiting for my client time from now, my crown. These children are not my children. They are the children of God. I'm asked to look after them while they are on earth. I have not done nothing. It's not my children. The one that owns them will look after them. He said, train up these children in the way so that when even they grow, they will not depart from it. Me and my wife, we have done that. A die-hard message, ask them. I done nothing of this, anything that will separate them from Christ. Look at them. I prepared them. It's not as if it's going to happen now. Remember, they started 10 years. We are giving us another 10 years before we start seeing them gripping into. Now they are talking about Africa. They know it's a lawless area. They can just penetrate the same way they came and gave us and hung on our neck, colonialism. But they know they can't start in America, where people will question and shoot them. They know they can't start in Europe, where people will question and shoot them. They know they can't start in Australia, where people will question and shoot them. They want to start. That was why I put on Facebook and said, the model that Asians are using, and the model America is using, America is paying their citizens money to stay at home. Asia is building hospitals everywhere. You know, before, when I was in Malaysia, 2006 was when I found out that Asia can build 100 houses in 100 days. I'm not talking about it. It's the latest technology. So if you want them to build 100 buildings, 1,000 buildings, it's just a day for one building, a day. It's not as if they concentrate on one and finish it one day. But the technology, they will relate, they mold it. They might use 20 days to mold it, mold the whole building. They use the other 20 days to allow it to dry up. They use the other 20 days, you know, to now bring it to the site. They use the other 20 days to couple it, something like that. So this is a time for the world to panic, those that are living in fear. But it's not time, I don't have any issue. I decided, watch me, how do you know, Pastor Joseph? When they said I had infectious hepatitis that I was going to die, I said, let me die. I fought it with prayer. In Malaysia, 2009, God told me the only people that will kill you, that have the power to kill you, are doctors. Because they are coming out with a system that